What's up, Nail Geeks, and welcome to I guess, new collab video. I don't think I've done this one before. This is a great way to start your intro. Welcome to the a little box of horrors mini video. I have just a couple of small but very mighty polishes to show you guys. So without further ado, let's dive right in. So first up, we've got Chamaeleon. This is Carol's Journey, described as a white Crelly filled with black and violet hollow glitters in different sizes. This is inspired by The Walking Dead. Price is $13 and there's a cap of $25. So we have quite a few from Chamaeleon Nails this month. If you've been a big fan of her polish for PPU and her debut over there, you'll be excited to know that we've got 4 polishes based off of The Walking Dead. Now, Carol's Journey also has a purple glow-in-the-dark effect. You'll see that here in just a moment, and it popped ridiculously well in the dark. It was very bright. Overall, this is a Crelly type of formula. I'm going to describe it as being a true milky white polish. It's lovely, and it gives you that like lush, plumping sort of milky effect. I love it. It's very clean and palette cleansing. And there's just enough glitters here that it doesn't steal the show for that soft effect. I'm going to suggest going up to 3 coats and a glossy top coat of the thicker type to smooth out those glitters. Please note that I do charge my glow-in-the-dark polishes with an LED nail lamp just to get them to pop in colors. So if you're curious how to charge glow-in-the-dark polishes, that's a great way to do it. And next up, we've got Chamaeleon's next polish. This one is Daryl's Hunt, described as a black to colorless thermal with iridescent flakes shifting in green to violet, black flakes, golden green reflective glitters. This one's $13.50 and capped at $100. So we are continuing with this jelly, somewhat Crelly sort of formula. I say Crelly in how it builds because it builds very easily, but it's jelly in how it layers. You'll get a delicious pond effect with those flakes. You can see them straight through both the warm and cold states. And so far, this is, I think, I don't know, I feel like I've worked on a couple of her thermals so far since her debut to PPU. And I have to say her thermals are incredibly reactive. So ice water shot there, and my macro and swatch photo shows you just how popping those flakes are too. And then the third installment for Chamaeleon is Don't Let Them Bite You. This is described as a sage green to colorless thermal that gets slightly blue while transitioning, filled with green to violet shifting iridescent flakes, finished off with pink hollow glitters in different sizes. This one's $13.50 and the cap is 50 bottles. So this one has a more plumping formula to it, really heavily leaning on that Crelly side as compared to the other two, and it built very well for me between 2 to 3 coats. At this point on that third coat, I was kind of struggling. Should I go for it? Should I leave it at that second coat? But I think it plumped up more, but I definitely could have stopped at the second coat. So your preference with that. As for the official description stating that there is a bit of a medium shift there, you can get an idea on my ice water shot that there is a lime type of green in between. So it's almost flirting with being a tri-thermal. Now this does dry down quite flat, so you'll want to use a good glossy top coat and maybe a thin coat of glitter smoother. And then the last one in the quad is I Am Negan. This is a mahogany to red thermal filled with black to orange hollow glitters in different sizes. This one's $13.50 and the cap on this one is $50. Now, please note that if you are getting a little scared on seeing how low these caps are, if you're wanting any of the Chamaeleons, she did state that she will be able to increase the cap a little bit if the polishes sell out quickly and there's a lot of demand. So I Am Negan has an incredibly smooth, satisfying jelly formula. I think 2 coats is going to be perfect for most, and finish with a good plumping glossy top coat. That way you'll get that wonderful jello looking effect. This is also incredibly reactive, and for some reason with reds, my camera just hates them and it always like overexposes my skin. So please note, in light of me over editing anything, I think that the video portion where my fingers are just there with just my swatch finger is the most accurate representation of what I'm seeing. And then we've got Jen and Berries. This is Reds Rising. This is described as a slate blue-gray Crelly with ruby shimmer and hollow micro glitters. This one's inspired by Red Riding Hood. So we have another Crelly formula going here. it builds up like a cream and it layers well like a jelly. I think you can stop at 2 coats if you're rocking shorties, or at the time I was swatching this specific one, I kept my falsies on the shorter side. And I was kind of debating once again on that 3rd coat, but I felt like maybe it was a little necessary because I wanted the shimmer to really shine through, but completely your preference and how you polish, if you go light-handed or heavy-handed, what have you. It does dry down on the somewhat flat side, so to maximize that shimmer, and you're going to want to see that beautiful shimmer against that base, you're going to need to use a good glossy top coat. And here is Luna Lacquer. This is Bent Neck Lady, described as a purple to red to orange to gold shifting shimmer with blue and silver reflective glitters and purple magnetic pigment. This is inspired by a Haunting of Hill House. Price is $12 and there's a cap of 100 bottles. So because I thought that the polish itself was not magnetic, I swatched it on its own here so that you guys could see what it looks like by itself. And I figured I'd keep this footage here so we could appreciate what it looked like on its own. And then I'll also show you guys super quickly at the very end here before the swatch photos what it looks like magnetized. We have a somewhat heavier type of formula because it's so loaded full of multichrome pigment and reflective glitters that I think you'll want to go in just a touch heavy-handed on your brush strokes. That way you can get your texture from your previous layer to adhere your next coat, if that makes sense. I think 2 to 3 coats is perfect depending on the length of your nails and again, how you polish. There's no need to go super light on your brush strokes or anything like that because honestly, it was very forgiving, even with having a heavier type formula. Regardless, you're going to want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat in addition to a glossy top coat, as this dries down textured and thirsty. And Potion Polish brings us Ghostfacers. This is a deep purple leaning red jelly with green to turquoise to blue shimmer and hollow flakes. This is inspired by Supernatural. Price is $13 and there is a cap of 70 bottles. We've got 2 from Potion this month, and they're both inspired by Supernatural, and I'm really digging her inspos for Supernatural. I think I can really get a vibe that she is enjoying this inspiration as her muse. Now, I'm going to suggest going to 3 light coats on this. It is incredibly opaque in how it applies and very smooth, but if you have any type of free edge and you want that more shimmery type payoff, I think that 3rd thin coat is the best and it's going to give you the best payoff. There is a violet type of shift you'll see here on my macro shot at more extreme angles, and you'll want to finish with a good glossy top coat and maybe a glitter smoother depending on what you're working with. And then finally, Potion's Love Me Some Pie. This one is a deep berry jelly with pink to purple to blue hollow micro glitters. Again, Supernatural inspired. $13 is the price and there's a cap of 70 bottles here too. I do love me some Potion Polish glitters, and this one's no exception. She does them so well. It's intensely sparkly in person. These are the types of finishes that I'm glad you get to see a video of because there's so much depth. It's almost like a sparkly velvet in how this one builds up. I'm going to strongly suggest a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat to gloss this one out and maximize that sparkly goodness. And to wrap everything up, we've got the Will It Topper segment. This is where I demonstrate polishes over a black swatch stick to determine layering capabilities. So we have a lot of various finishes in this segment. Now, lots of crellies, lots of jellies. I think the chameleons show a bit of versatility, and because some of them had a super dark cold state, I chose to do 2 of them over white, and just to kind of quickly go over to the warm states, you guys can see it's really going to depend. I think all 4 chameleons can be layered. I think there's a lot of versatility with them. I would just caution being really careful with the undie that you choose to wear because it could either wash out or muddy it up based off of, say, the warm state because they're not perfectly clear, if that makes sense. This also gives you an idea of how flat these dry down. Now the Jen and Berries, I think layered well. This makes it even vampier and maximized the look of that red shimmer because it made it more spread out, if that makes sense. And Luna's looks really cool. I think this looks great as a topper if you do it unmagnetized, and then magnetize, of course, it's going to pop even better. And then potions, we've got Ghostfacers here. This toppered, so good. And I think you can get a better idea of that green shimmer here that shifts over to purple at angles. Love Me Some Pie also looks really good over black. I think there is quite a bit that you can work with this. I think it's going to look great over reds, purples, pinks, and black, as you can see here. So these are going to go up for a pre-order starting November 18th through November 30th. I'm going to link you guys to the LBOH Facebook group and the website where to shop. And I'll also have any Black Friday information I get from these makers in the description box if I get it in time for the time frame that I'm recording my face here. So as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.